Question. The member from London West.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Speaker, today college students will be demonstrating at Queen's Park for a tuition refund, and yesterday a class action lawsuit was launched on behalf of the 500,000 Ontario college students whose classes were cancelled because of the strike. The lawsuit seeks to recover damages related to tuition as well as meal plans and residence fees when students are not getting what they paid for. Speaker, this Liberal government's failure to fund the college system appropriately, its failure to lead during this labour dispute, has created a hot mess. If the class action lawsuit is successful, there will be almost nothing left for the announced hardship fund once students are reimbursed for lost tuition and fees. Speaker, what kind of reimbursement does this government plan to offer to students who have to pay to repeat courses, who are unable to get the placement hours they need to graduate, who have to turn down jobs they had lined up? How will their financial losses be compensated?
Okay. Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Premier.
Education Skills Development.
Minister of Advanced Education and Skills Development.
Speaker, and thank you to the member for her question. We are joined today by several members of the College Student Alliance, Speaker. This is the voice of students. They've done an outstanding job in bringing the voice of students to this strike situation. Students are caught in the middle of this, Speaker. They are talking to individual students at their colleges and have brought those stories of hardship forward. It is thanks to the members of College Student Alliance, and other student groups, Speaker, that we have required that colleges set aside the net savings of the strike and return that money to students. We're consulting with students about how best to do that, Speaker, but we acknowledge that students are the ones who are paying the price for this strike, Speaker. We acknowledge that. We have tremendous respect for the student leaders who are here today, and I can assure you that the Premier, myself, our government are focused on getting students back in the classroom where they deserve to be.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Again to the Premier. Speaker, many of the representatives of the College Student Alliance who are here today were also at Queen's Park for the November 2nd launch of the Action Plan on Student Mental Health. The plan was developed through an unprecedented collaboration across the post-secondary sector because of this Liberal government's failure to deal with the crisis in student mental health, with rates that have more than doubled over the last 5 years. Speaker, as this strike drags on with no end in sight, we are hearing alarming stories of even more students being diagnosed with depression and anxiety. These students feel despair as they watch their futures slip away. They worry how they will ever manage the increased debt they will have to take on to complete their programs. Speaker, what specific plans has this government put in place to support the thousands of college students who are suffering, whose mental health has been compromised because of this strike?
Thank you. Minister.
So there is no question that the #1 issue that I hear about when I travel to colleges and to universities is mental health. Whether I'm talking to students, whether I'm talking to faculty, whether I'm talking to administration, everybody is saying the same thing, that the demand for mental health services has increased tremendously. And that's exactly why, Speaker, we have increased funding for mental health services on campus from $9 million a year to $15 million a year. We're focused on improving the quality of care, of mental health services on our campus. And again, Speaker, it's the voice of the students who is the most compelling when students from the College Student Alliance and other student groups have said, we need to do a better job supporting students, then we have been there to answer that call.
Answer. Thank you.